Welcome along, everyone. What was it like, that experience, jumping into your first race?
It's been my life ever since I can remember.
Look, it really was unbelievable.
I think it's awesome.
Just go out there and give it your all every time. And
when you're young and you get in the old man super stock and you wreck it, I mean, it's pretty cool.
Craig Booker with the big smile. He is the voice that's behind what you get to hear every Sunday night.
Give it the hoot, Daddy. Look at that field. Doesn't it look fantastic?
Welcome along, everyone, to your favourite Wednesday show, and it's good to be back, actually, obviously for my friend Booker, who's back at his home after a couple of weeks away. Look, this is a bit of a wrap-up and a special from, of course, what unfolded at Huntly International Speedway, the Garage 16 New Zealand Modified Chaps. We know the 3, 2 and 1 NZ. We are very lucky to have the 1 and 3 NZ join us on the show. But first and foremost, Booker, how are you, mate?
I'm pretty good, mate. Pretty good. Good to be home. Good to be actually back at my own house in my own bed and doing my own thing again. It's but it was a good 2 weeks away, and I must say the crew, Red and Fee and all the team at Huntly Speedway certainly looked after us for 2 weeks, 2 weekends in a row, Kins. I mean, it was fantastic the way they looked after us, and of course Tracy as well on the Friday and Saturday of this weekend just gone. Was awesome. They looked at us very well, and what a great couple of weekends, mate. What a couple of great shows that we got to watch, you know. Just fantastic, you know. And we got to go out to the lanes on the Wednesday night last week and do a show out there with Brad and Sam, and we tried to get Pops on, but he wouldn't come on with us. But it was a good show until our new studio stuff crapped out, which annoyed me a little bit. See, I didn't swear. Just crap isn't a swear word. So yeah, but it was awesome, mate. It was awesome weekend.
Yeah. Now, the last 2 weeks have actually been a privilege for us as our show. We always say, you know, we've only been going for just over a year, but to be part of the last 2 weekends, New Zealand titles and the super stocks in the modifieds, to be out on the infield, talking to all the drivers from both weekends, mixing and mingling with their families, their crews, and everything like that down in the pits over the last couple of weeks. It's just been what our show's about, you know. We have fun, we enjoy ourselves, and credit to everyone at Huntly International Speedway, because they've done it tough as a track with all the 5 big meetings they were going to have. Obviously, we know the wet weather pretty well put a damper on last Friday. Then we had a big, long day on Saturday. But, you know, they're getting there. They've only got a few more to go. And May 6th is their wrap-up of their season. Just a bit of a shout-out so early in the show to Jason Coley, Kyle Carpendale, Tanya, who's on board watching as well, Richie and Trudy Aldridge. Got a big weekend coming up down there in Stratford, no doubt. Daniel, who's jumped on board. Tyler Ingram. Kylie, hey, how are you? Tracy Vincent, always watching. Murray Gorge, the man himself, watching the show tonight. Murray, who was at the actual track, and we caught up with Newton. Just great to see everyone there and, yeah, have a bit of a chat. But, Books, you know, it was a hell of a weekend. You must be loving being home in your bed, though.
Mate, it was a good weekend. The only disappointing thing, I suppose, of the whole thing for me was getting the phone call when I got back and hearing what was going on. And I must say, myself and Reno are big advocates of not abusing drivers and not abusing anyone. So we're here to say, you know who you are. Those that abused and Luke and his family over the incident on the track was absolute crap.
Yeah.
And I'm doing my best not to swear here, but we are against it. You know, you can have your fans and you can have your favourite drivers and you can have the drivers you don't like so much, but there is no excuse for abuse or taking it personal against a driver that's on the track there to entertain us and bring us a show. And that show was fantastic. Right up, even that last corner. You know, even Brad Lane himself said, I would have done the same thing. You know, and these people were getting up. That's racing. If the drivers stop having a go, it's going to be boring for us to watch, you know? You're talking about a New Zealand championship title that came down to the last corner after 30 laps. How cool is that? Luke had a go. It didn't work. Move on. You know, there's no point abusing him or his family. So if you did that, you need to take a long, hard look at yourselves and have a think about it, because if you're on the other end of it, I'm sure you wouldn't like it.
100%.
That's all I got to say on that matter.
Yeah, I know you want to say a lot more. I know you do want to say a lot more, but you know, it's something, and both of us on our show on Kokpit here, we don't condone that kind of stuff. You know, it doesn't matter what motorsport that's out there as such. And yeah, put your heads in. That's what I'm going to say before I say a naughty word.
Absolutely.
We better bring it. We
better
move
into the positivity of the show now.
Yeah.
We've said that we want to move on. We've had our positive. So let's bring in Aaron from Garage 16 New Zealand Dirt Track Magazine. He's going to join us first for a quick words. So here we go. There he is. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, team.
Hey, Aaron, just first and foremost, I know you had the biggest smile going around last weekend with the Garage 16, your sponsored event, the New Zealand Wildlife, and still got it, mate. I can tell. You deserve to be smiling, mate, because you actually got to go and race in your first New Zealand title. That was your achievement to be part of that, obviously being the sponsor. But, mate, you got out there, and that smile, you still got it.
Yeah, mate, I definitely do. No, that was that was one heck of a lot of fun and absolute honour, and big thanks really to to all the other guys that kind of, should I have been out there or shouldn't I? But no one said don't. Everyone said just go and you do you, keep your line and don't ruin my night or I might kick your ass. But other than that, it was pretty cool to get out there and with some legends of the sport.
That also, we can't stop to think as well, mate, is not only were you racing, but you guys were the main sponsors for the event. And let's face it, without guys like you doing what you do, it just doesn't happen. I mean, how good was the whole event? I mean, man, some of that racing was just spectacular.
It was just unbelievable, and all of the drivers that were there, and it'll be cool to go over this with the other guys later on, and it was just the amount of competitive spirit that was in there. And I'm not talking about all your flowery stuff and things like that. I'm talking about the damn determination to win, and everyone had their the superstars did what superstars do, but drivers like Daniel Crump and Parsons and
Sam Lane,
Ryan Turner qualifying for the top 20. Those. That's just it was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah,
I can 100%. Tell, mate. I can tell. Look, let's talk about yourself, though, and your modifier. Look, Vince obviously told all the fans who were sitting there, you had a bit of a mishap. He reminded you all the bloody time, but you turned yourself around, got yourself another car. You were determined to go and race at that New Zealand Champs.
Yeah, mate, I really was, and a lot of effort went in from a lot of people to make that happen. From my wife and my dad, all the contributions on that side of it. It's not a very cheap sport, as many people will know as well. So it took a reasonably big financial commitment too to basically let me live a dream. It was pretty cool.
Oh, hard out, mate. Good on you. And is it Richie? Richard was there as well. You're a man that helped you out.
Yeah, Richie, crew chief, and my dad in there, and I think they were both. Richie was there 13 hours one day and 14 the next, and Dad was 11 and 11 or something, which is not too bad for a 72-year-old. So no, it was absolutely wicked, mate. Lewis Motorsport, went out in style, mate.
Good on you, mate. Good on you, and that's what it's all about. And what's the racing season looking like for the rest of the season for 16W?
16W, that's going to be pretty much it for the car for this season. We were going to get down to the modified invasion next week, but we've just done a wee bit too much damage. We've blown the power steering, got a couple of other things wrong, and that we need to get onto, and unfortunately just can't quite get there. Plus, not only that, with this week's announcement of us getting out of Speedway after this season. We really want to go down to what's our last sort of major event, and then maybe enjoy a couple of Fantas and and really get down there with the southern people that have supported Garage 16 and have a drink and say thanks and talk some crap.
Now, you mentioned the word Garage 16, mate. Obviously, the news is all over social media, and the other part of that came
It is.
on the New Zealand Dirt
We
Track
had to just put it
magazine.
on
Yeah,
our
that's
shirts,
right.
you wink. Sorry.
Yeah.
I almost swore.
So,
It was close.
Yeah, just clarify all the social media stuff that you had to release, mate.
Yeah, so Garage 16 itself is still going to be a company owned by Vince and I, but with my decision wanting to retire, get a few health issues sorted out and things like that, what I had right in front of me, for those that don't know, the media side of Speedway is a little bit like the racing. It doesn't seem to bring in a lot of money, unfortunately. And so my construction company, Clark Construction, has really kind of been the funder of what we've sort of managed to achieve over the last 4 or 5 years. That's a big thanks to my family and Vince, who is the main business manager of that. And yeah, I wanted to take a bit of a step back, and I got someone really experienced who I offered the job to, being Vince, and he's going to take the top seat and show me what he can do with it moving forward. So it's a pretty big commitment, but it's something that'll set him and his family up. So it's a good time to do it. Garage 16, however, I want to clarify absolutely, the Garage 16 is not like gone. We're just, all our involvement, all the sponsorship and getting involved and turning up to every event and traveling all summer, we're just stopping doing all of that sort of stuff. So we're not, we haven't had a falling out with anyone. We're not pissed off, anything like that. This is just like a regroup, we go and get our lives sorted out, and then we're still going to be around enjoying the sport and coming to racing. But yeah, that's pretty much what's happened.
I've just got
Mate.
one very important thing to clarify, mate.
Yeah.
Garage 16 will be with Kokpit Racing at the end of the season doing our live shows. Good man.
Yeah, mate, I'll be in.
Good
I'll be in
man.
for live shows, mate.
Good man.
Yeah, so I'm going to be tuning out. I got
You're
my
lucky you
friends
said
over at
yes,
Pitts
then otherwise I
Media.
just removed you from the show now.
Oh, you cheeky shit. Now, look, it's been absolutely awesome. The sport's in really good hands, to be honest with you. You know, we got some really cool people that come into it. Your guys' show's had an incredibly successful start. I've had a great season working with my friends over at the Pitts TV there as well, and having both of you guys at events, you guys doing scrutineering and all that sort of stuff, and then them off doing live streaming stuff. It's just it's exactly what the sport needs. So yeah, if there's it's not like we're going, oh, it's going to be something that's going to be left too far behind. So yeah, when a business pulls out of a sport, there's always a little bit of an impact, but we've got a pretty cool sport there. So I've got a funny feeling there'll just be another one come along.
Yeah, 100%, mate. And of course, the commitment that yourself and Vince, we saw it through the Extreme Dirt Series down in the South Island. You were traveling down there. I know you're traveling back and forth to be up here as well. Mate, it's a lot of commitment. It's a lot of time away from the family. So, good on you for making that decision. Doing what you need to do, because I've seen the impact it's taken on both years, because you're here there every weekend. You're at a bloody track. If you're not racing, mate, you're out there doing your media stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, and I really did enjoy all of that, but they keep telling us at this day and age, you got to look at yourself in the mirror, and for me, from a mental health standpoint,
Yeah.
I've had a really interesting couple of years where I've been given a lot of help with that side of it, and there's nothing wrong with a bit of a rest and regroup, as I'll call it, because I'm only turning 47 this year, so it's not like I'm past the point of being able to do anything, but yeah, a couple of years, nice rest with the family, and it'll be just great catching everyone up with everyone at the tracks.
All right, let's talk about what's on the screen. Everyone can see the New Zealand Dirt Track magazine, the racing magazine. What's the deal there, mate?
Yeah, so I can't give away too much other than to say that, first of all, congratulations to Vince, my business partner. What he's been able to do with that magazine since he's had it in the last year is is absolutely impressive. It's Sorry Speedway. It's one of the reasons that I've had to steal him for the construction company, just because when someone's able to come into a business like that, not know much about it, and turn it around and get it to the point that it is, I think is pretty bloody impressive. So big ups to Vince on that. And then the very, very good news is we have had a lot of inquiries, and good inquiries too, from people that are really, that have probably got the experience and the capital to take it on and keep it moving forward for many, many years to come. So yeah, for all those NZDTR fans out there, it's been an honour owning it, but yeah, I reckon she's going to be in pretty safe hands. And if we can't find safe hands, then we just ain't going to get rid of it.
Yeah, 100%,
Awesome, mate.
Love what you're saying. Love what you're saying. Aaron, mate, thank you for everything you've done and brought to the sport. Obviously, it's more than just sponsorship. It's your love, it's your passion. Modifieds is a class that you kind of rejuvenated over the years that we've known you, mate. I know you've also going to take a bit of time. We hope to get you back on the simulator, because you've actually bashed up cars with us on the sim, mate. And I know Booker's going to go down and sort that out one day for you, get it going 100%, so we can have more fun. But it has been a fun journey. I know you've been part of our special shows at Stratford and at Palmy, with the contacts that you know in there as well, to make our shows on the road very successful. So, thank you from us two here at Kokpit Media, but also from all our viewers, all the friends you've made throughout the Speedway circle, also through the magazine as well, mate. You're impressive, you and your team and Vince, and it's a big commitment. And I know all the fans put comments here, and they'd just like to reiterate the words that I've made mention. So thank you, mate. And this ain't the end, because we'll be having a fun, and I know you still have hot dogs without sauce, and we'll catch up with the track soon, mate.
Sounds good to me, mate. Sounds
Don't
bloody good
run
to
away
me.
on us, though. We'll bring you. We'll talk to these boys and bring you back together with all of us. But before we do that, I forgot to share this before. Maru Goodley, who watches our show from down here, who also does some amazing pictures of cars. Everybody would have loved to have seen it. He did this, and I want to show everybody. Let me see if I can sort this out.
This
Look
is
at
cool.
that. How cool is that? That is what Maru has done for us. That is going to be framed, and I am going to send that to Kins for his wall frame.
You what?
He didn't know that. I've just told him. I have bought that for my friend Kins to put on his wall with all his memorabilia stuff. It's going to be framed and done. So if you want to get your work done by Maru Goodley, whether it be your favourite driver, car, or whatever, contact him, because look how good that looks. So that's going on your wall, Kins, with all your other memorabilia, my friend. So there you go. So once you get it up there, you'll have to show us. So how cool is that?
Definitely. Thank you.
That's all right, brother.
Thank you, bro.
So there we go. I just thought I'd share that. Murray Goodley, Speed Media, does awesome work. And he done an awesome picture of Brad's modified too, I believe. And heaps of cars. He's done so much, hasn't he? He's just... Yeah. And he's given a picture to our auction cause. Now, that auction's still happening, people. Just stick with us with that. It's still going to happen. Yeah. So, okay. Definitely. But I just wanted to share that for everyone to see, because I thought it was pretty damn cool.
He's actually got an amazing Facebook page too. I come across it, that he's done stuff like the Mad Max cars, everything like that. It's not just your Speedway. He's covered everything from V8s to your nostalgia stuff. He's a credit to himself, actually. And you don't realize until you discover some of these other Facebook pages that he's associated with, that you actually truly see the artwork that this guy can present. So, yeah, he is one of the best, actually. Yeah, I am surprised, Madu. So thanks for that, bro. But, credit to you. You're the one that does all the hard work. Love your work, Dirt Fader from Wayne Alton. It is cool, Shane and Karen. It is really cool. I look forward to treasuring that in amongst all my other Speedway memorabilia in my so-called sim room, which was a room.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Aaron, just stick around, mate. We'll get you back soon. We're going to bring in Luke and Brad, I think. And let's see what the fans come to see. Hang on, let me see if I can work this out. Go. 1 and 2. Oh, you got a light on there, Brad? Can you put a light on or what, mate?
On, Brad?
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah, give me 2 seconds.
While he's doing that, Luke, how are you, mate?
Yeah, good, man.
That's good. Oh, there you go. That's a lot better.
Brad's in the kitchen. Might as well flick the kettle on while you're doing that, mate. No, it's all good.
He wouldn't know how to operate a kettle.
That's our oven over there in the back, mate. That's our oven, the old air fryer. what we cook
Oh,
when we're
yeah,
away.
fine. Nothing wrong with those, mate. Hey, Luke and Brad, obviously, Luke, congrats on the 3 NZ, Brad, 1 NZ, mate. Luke, we said our little piece and we'll leave it that bit right at the start of the show, mate. We just want to talk about going forward, and obviously you'll be focusing on the North Islands this coming weekend. But just to wrap it up, Luke, Friday, it got rained off. Forget about that. The long day on Saturday. How was it for you, mate?
Yeah, big slog on Saturday. Yeah, obviously we had the one skid on the Friday, so we had only the 4 on Saturday. Yeah, it was pretty full on. I think it was maybe quite a different build up, and maybe the fact that you didn't really get to watch other races as well. Like usually you get to watch other groups, or I mean, even I don't know about other teams, but we didn't even really get a chance to look at the track by the time you come in and fixing something or changing a tire. It was just you kind of had to take a bit of a stab and trust your gut and kind of trust your past experience on the track. But I mean, that was always going to be the case with the hand that got dealt with the weather and stuff. So yeah, it was pretty cool to get it all done. And I think yeah, I'm not sure how long it ran for in the end, but it was a big old day for everyone.
Yeah, mate.
It's a long day.
Yeah, it was like like you said, you did your race out there, and I think you come home second behind Blair McPhee in that race, and then of course got rained off after that. We all got to see all that. You couldn't get the track back; it was just pretty well buggered and left to Saturday. So how do you kind of refocus yourself, Luke, knowing very well that this is going to be a long bloody day? You're up early, getting ready, and then not getting out of there till late, obviously. So how do you refocus yourself to obviously turn out to be good on the day?
Yeah, I kind of like that kind of stuff, and I have kind of routines and stuff I go through. And I think on Friday, with the weather being a bit touch and go, it didn't really feel it didn't feel like a title, but it just didn't have that vibe, that energy. It kind of felt like something was missing, and then kind of knowing it was called off, knowing the weather was good the next day. I think myself and probably a lot of other boys went home and girls went home and just reset and wake up in the morning, the sun's shining, right, job's on, let's go. Like I think that was kind of for me how it went.
Yeah, myself and Booker there got there a little bit earlier, I think just at lunchtime, 1 o'clock, and we're having a bit of a chat to old Jacko. He knew the wet weather was going to turn up. He was ready to put his tyres out, make them in the seats for us, Books, and have a few.
Yeah, you wanted to sit down and have a beer before it even cooled off. Oh, Jacko. Oh, Brad's going to. He doesn't know whether to get the work phone or not. Look at him.
Sorry.
It's all right, mate.
No, you're right. It's the old wifey. I better give her a text so she knows.
You think she'd be watching your starter, mate?
She's busy with the kids, mate. She don't have much time to do anything else.
Yeah.
I just quickly while I was doing that, I got a comment here already. Amaron says, Brad, you look in the same state you were when you left the Huntley club rooms on Sunday morning.
I didn't catch that. Whether it's
look at that.
Whatever, yeah. Sorry, lad.
We just noticed that all of a sudden you'd like twitching around real fast. Just repeat it again, Books.
It says, Amaron put, Brad, you look like you're in the same state you were in when we left the Huntley club rooms on Sunday morning.
Yeah, she was a big nut. I just wanted to make sure we stayed there longer than we did on the New Zealand on the Superstock New Zealand title. So we could have something over them. But yeah, some big days with work away, so she's pretty knackered when we get back to the motel here. Obviously away from the kids and the family and what have you. So she's pretty big days, and come back and then do all this. It makes you pretty worn out.
Yeah, mate. Hey, just thanks, Brad, for inviting Books and I and Steve Emmett, Dirty and Zed, to come along to the shed last Wednesday to join yourself and your family and have a bit of a shed night there talking on the stream as we did, mate. Thank you for that. Eh?
We almost got Luke there too, Kins, but Brad left it too late.
Yeah, well, obviously the Kokpit boys, we were talking about it, and Luke was just down the road, so we gave him a ring, but obviously he was a bit busy with prepping the car and stuff, so we obviously didn't have the opportunity to get him up there, which would have been real cool. So, yeah.
Well, we had some spare tires in there, mate, for him to sit on and join us. But, it was a pleasure to be there, actually, and have a bit of a tour around, have a look at the cars, get the insights of what the cars actually are made up of, from the engine through to the chassis. And, mate, you've just got a whole vocabulary on it. I was actually blown. I was kind of trying to talk to you in an interview, and I was too busy buzzing out on what you were talking about. I was thinking, holy shit, this has just gone over the top of my bloody head. But it was really cool. It was an experience, especially for the viewers who always ask questions when we interview drivers. They always want to ask about the combinations of what combines with the race car, what makes it, and it's quite important. It's good to get that kind of stuff out there. But I don't think we've kind of said it on the show yet, mate. But congrats, say one NZ.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Yeah, it was a wicked night. Bloody cool.
You all right, Books?
Yeah, I mean, like at bottom, I mean, watching through the heats, you were clearly leading the pack on the heats of everybody. I mean, your car looked like it was on rails. You were thereabouts. I mean, when you sat on the grid for that final 30 lapper, mate, what was, with the car being so good all night, what was going through your head sitting on that grid? Were you a little bit nervous going to that 30 lapper?
Not really. We just spent the whole day or weekend, just sort of looking down, looking ahead, and focusing on what we were doing. We sort of really, just kept everything else that wasn't irrelevant out of sight, So there really wasn't that many nerves going in, even though we were, starting up front. It was just sort of head down and get the job done. So, yeah, that was good.
All right. Yourself, Luke, what was it like for you? The big feature race, 30 laps, mate. You had your 1NZ on your car and thinking you were just starting just behind Brad, obviously, and that type of stuff. You had to do a bit of work. What was going through your mind? 30 laps is like, hell, hope the bloody tyres can last.
Yeah. We did a bit of damage in the heat before, so all the other cars were on the dummy grid, and we still had both rear wheels off and half the panels off. So I don't even think I had time to be nervous, to be fair. Like it was just jam the helmet on and just get out there. So didn't really stop to think until we're kind of lining up. But I guess the last few maybe last season around that time, like kind of normally been off the front row, so it's kind of a different feel. Like maybe Brad will comment, but like when you're leading a race, you're wondering, is this line coming on? Is that line going on? Is someone fast down low? Is someone fast up high? I mean, the car was tight, and I knew it might struggle at the start, but it's kind of a different vibe once you get going, and you can see where other guys are driving, because you can kind of base yourself on what they're doing, which was kind of enjoyable, as opposed to kind of just sitting in the way and then potentially doing something wrong, or something that there's something you could have done better. But yeah, I wouldn't say nervous. I always get really excited for the big ones, and that's the work you and the team and that have done. And I guess from my side, like I was proud of what I've achieved in the last year or couple of years, and it was just leave it all out on the track and just enjoy it, really. And we did.
Your car came on strong halfway through the race, and you sort of at the start you dropped back quite a bit, but man, did it come on sort of halfway through to the end there, because you started to peel that little fella there back quite quickly. And there was a few lapping cars that helped Brad, but I think the last one sort of hindered him. But man, that car of yours came on strong at the end. Is that because of, like what you say, you can see the lines where Brad's trying to be the ambassador of the track, so to speak, making his lines himself, trying to figure it out himself, where you can see the cars in front doing it, so you know where the best place to pick it? Is that why you think your car comes on better halfway through to the end there? Is that what you sort of mean?
Yeah, I think that's one element to it. But I guess kind of my driving style and how I set the car up, like the car just keeps getting quicker and quicker. Notoriously in long features, that's kind of what I've set myself in the car up for. Kind of when I first got into mods, I did all right in the heat races, and I wasn't too good in the feature. And then I really started to work on my setup and my driving style and get the car real tight. I mean, for the guys in the class, they probably know, but for those that kind of just follow and aren't too followed with the setup, like we run our car really tight. It just suits my driving style. And like some guys run their car like that, but some guys can't really drive like that. So it is quite interesting, but that's just kind of my style. Keep it kind of straight and tight. It is a handful. Like it's not easy. Like some of the GoPros, the in-car stuff is a bloody handful, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably the first time it's pulled the front up at the start. Just hiked both front wheels.
Yeah.
And then just
that was
panicked got off
impressive,
it. And straight back up. I'm surprised it still had shocks on it when we come down, and it did a bit of damage, but after a couple of laps it felt good enough, and just got on with it and kind of took it you never take it easy, but I was aware of the tire situation, and kind of the first maybe 6, 7, 8 laps just was probably 90%, not 100%, and then kind of once it started rolling, then it was like, right, hammered down, let's see what we can do, and it was pretty mean.
Yeah, it was me next year, because we noticed the car lifting up the front.
We were sitting on the corner, we're sitting turn 3, and we watched the cars. This buddy, little Blaine, gives me the absolute shits how close he gets to that wall. But you see them come off turn 2, and they just twist and lift, and then it's like there's no control. It's all in the throttle, getting down, and then bang, straight into the next corner. And to watch you guys do that, I mean, that it takes a special kind of race car driver, I reckon, to do that. But you, Brad, mate, even your mumsy looks at me when she comes off and just, she's holding the bloody seat after watching you. What I was getting to basically is with Brad, how what Luke was saying, do you find that as well? Like, if you're following someone for most of the race, it's easier than leading the race?
I was obviously after our first couple of heat races, and we won both of them off the near the back. I was telling people I'd rather be sitting in second on the last lap than first, because I'm not very good at leading them. I usually bugger something up, but I'd way rather be chasing than sitting in front trying to lead the pace and where to run on the track. So, but that wheel stand in that first corner, mate, was bloody impressive. Both of them, that was a long way up.
Yeah, that front end's probably 10, 12 years old, so I don't know how that thing is still going. But, been in the press to do another week, so.
Yeah. Same here, hence why it broke the other week.
Hey, just Shane and Karen Taylor. Shane and Karen, congrats to you both. Wicked 1NZ, 3NZ. Luke Wide, how many 1NZ is that now, Brad? How many
2, isn't it?
now? 2, eh?
Two apiece for both of us, yeah.
Yeah, 2 for each, yeah.
Oh, so next year's going to be who gets the 3 first, is it, eh?
Yeah.
Down the street.
Yeah. If Murray's still watching, he texted me during the week, and he told me that there's 4 more to go for each of us.
Said to catch up to the legends, the bloody 2 of them. Lacey says, congratulations, boys. Who else says that here? Murray's actually said in the comments, congrats both 1 and 3 and Z. Carl Carpenter, congrats, boys. Absolutely awesome drivers. Congrats on your placings. Harley Roll, I knew Harley be bloody watching. Brad, I promise I won't egg you.
Yeah.
Egg you on to do some donuts in the pits again at Woodford Glen next weekend.
We went to do some on Saturday, but somebody put the car away already. Last time we were down at the Invasion, Harley came over and said, bet you won't do any donuts in the pits. So we'd obviously had enough beverages to hold him to that, and did a couple of roundy rounds and put it back in the trailer.
Leanne Brown was spectacular to watch. Actually, the man himself, Mr. 63A, modified Crumpy. It is a little concerning when you lift the front and you cannot see the end of the straight. He went well, actually.
He did. Yeah.
On that, bro, watching Crumpy, man, you did bloody well, man. I'm not going to say I'm surprised, because you've really stepped up the game and you've been really consistent recently, but it was impressive and well deserved. It's just a shame that it ended how it did, and it would have been nice to see you. I mean, potentially you would have been around a top 6, top 8 start, and you've done some of these longer features now, so it would have been cool to see kind of where you ended up with really the best in the country. But next year, I guess.
Yeah,
mate, we were watching that A-Box, and we said that when we seen him crash, we were like, we gutted.
We were so gutted, man. We were, because he really was driving really well. We had a great battle with Brad in one of the heats too. until Brad cut him, chopped him,
old old Daniel's driving real well, man. He driving real smart, Didn't push any cases or anything. Just sort of sat around the bottom and did his thing, and it was impressive, to pass people like Jacko and stuff as no mean feat. Like that's pretty damn cool. They just unfortunately got a little unlucky, sorry, in that race. And
I only saw the back of it.
Shape for him.
Yeah, well, it was in the reportage too, because he had taken off and he actually could have qualified, but a few little mishaps here and there. And of course, your sister come through to grab her first checker flag and qualify for the New Zealand champs. Lacey's actually put in there Jonas for 1NZ in 2024. It's up the dub. So these are all the bloody challenge.
He finally had some luck, old Jonas, mate. He'd been driving his ass off, for the last 3-4 years and been going bloody well. Just how luck has been on his side, the poor bugger. And,
that's one guy that deserves a number for sure. That's really well deserved. Like it's been a long time coming for him and the crew and the family. The car always looks $1 million. The family's always into it. He's got 3 little rugrats running around, and he's still going 100%. And he had bad luck at Waikaraka, bad luck Wellington, and to string it together, I think more than just his team were happy for him on Saturday.
Yeah.
Look, I think we all were, really.
Yeah, 100%. Look, we were hoping to have Jonas England on the show with us, but he's got family commitments like most do at this stage, and his young fella's having a birthday, so a bit of a birthday shout out to his young man. But I know they will be in Rotorua this coming weekend, and
I think he's still drinking. I think that's the reason.
Do you reckon the family and son's birthday is just an excuse? He's still knocking them back.
Yeah.
Hey, Brad, we always talk about family everything on the show, and your dad, your mum, your sister, everyone's into it. But the family we don't hear much about is your own little kids and wifey. Your kids old enough to understand what Dad just achieved? Were they pretty happy? And do they understand, or do they just sort of think, "Oh, Dad's got a car and he drives around in circles like an idiot"? Or
Chevelle, the oldest daughter, she's 4, almost 5, going to school. She her only thing is, why didn't you win? So when we went to racing on Friday, obviously I didn't race, but Sam and Luke did. Her first words when she come down from the grandstand was, "Why didn't you win?" I wasn't even out on the track. But, she obviously they were right into it too, and it's pretty damn cool. And obviously Jazz has to deal for a lot with me being away. Obviously but I probably only seen her for a couple of hours the whole last 2 weeks really, from working on the car and working away and stuff. And she does a bloody awesome job. It's a full-time job looking after 2 kids and then going to work as well. So big hats off to her, to allow me or let me do what I do really. Between her and Dad to sort of get the car ready and stuff. Man, I'd be toast without them.
What about you, Luke? Your family investment in time, similar to Brad, there's a lot of time, like Brad just said, with him being busy traveling around and doing his work and not being able to see wife and family as such. What's it like for you, Luke, with the family and such as well?
I guess same but different. I guess the difference being my car's based at my place, so kind of, and obviously no kids yet, so kind of car lives here and I just chip away during the week. Dad comes over a couple of nights, whatever, and we just kind of have the old whiteboard and then kind of chip away like that. But everyone's got their own process and what they do in that. But it's just super helpful, I guess, like a lot of drivers having their old boys that have either driven or have a lot of knowledge. It's shortcutted us a whole lot of years, and I know a lot of us wouldn't be able to do it without them. But Dad's been a huge help and a big reason behind the success for me. So couldn't do it without him.
Yeah, mate. I'll just go back to a couple of quick questions here as well. Dirt Nut, awesome entertainment, boys. Good to catch up with Dirt Nut, Tracy Vincent. Congratulations, Brad and Luke. AMS, What's he got here? History has repeated itself on the weekend. Whānau. When Huntley last held the title 2005, it rained out on the Friday. In 2003, it also rained out on the Friday. In 2005, qualifying and finals ran on the Saturday night. In 2023, qualifying and finals ran on the Saturday night. In 2005, a Huntley driver won the event. And of course, last Saturday in 2023, another Huntley driver has won the event. The Huntley driver we talk about in 2005, none other than Tony Galbraith. Petrol Fumes has got the full rolls, my steering damage and the ripper charge as well. So that's Danny. Old Crumpy's been talking about that. Yeah. Richard and Trudy Aldridge, maybe Jacko for the 1NZ next year on his home track in Stratford. Actually, Luke, Stratford, no doubt you've raced there. Is that track kind to you?
To be fair, it's not a track that probably suits my driving style. Like I think I got second in the North Islands there a few years ago, and we've done all right there, but you've kind of got to be all or nothing. I mean, I don't think I raced here in a few years, so I'll probably be a lot better now. But yeah, you got to be on, and it's kind of elbows up, and and that's why a lot of the best drivers have come from Stratford. The likes of Murray Gorge and Paul, and even now like Jacko and Carl Hinton, Jason Kalin, all these guys are just rockets, man. They're not afraid to get stuck in and do the business. So it'll be a good title for sure. Depending on what they do with format stuff, maybe points over 3. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if you see a podium, a 1, 2, and 3, or some of those from Stratford local drivers. I think it's probably good odds.
Yeah. What about you, Luke? You've done some laps, Brad, around Stratty?
Yeah, she's pretty hard to pass. Pretty hard track to pass at. It's if there's 10, 12 cars there, you're sort of just trying to follow the car in front and find a way around. But when they get 20 odd cars there in a 3-heat sort of deal, it sort of makes it all a little bit more interesting. And certain cars line up to other cars and all the rest of it, and trying to get past it sort of makes passing opportunities. But the track is so damn fast when there's minimal cars on there that you sort of she's a big old horsepower track, and some of us don't have that. So you just got to be, like Luke said, you just got to be tapped out and just drive the wheels off the thing. When you see like the likes of Jacko and Carl, and then when they're on form, man, they just balls to the wall, and the thing's inches away from the wall through turns 1 and 2, and it's impressive to watch. It really is. But if you get a few more cars on there and sort of slows the pace down a little bit, it makes for some passing opportunities.
You've had a couple of whoopsies there too when you're at Stratford. You've showed us videos, haven't you, of your escapades, shall we say, Mr. Lane?
No, it hasn't been all sunshine and flowers there. It's had some bad times there, but we've had some good times too. Third in the Grand Prix and stuff, and come pretty close to a New Zealand title there. Just unfortunate for a brand new part to fail us on the second night there, the last time it was held there. So it is what it is. It's racing, we deal with it and carry on.
Yeah, mate. Oh, well, I'll tell you what, the excitement used to just mention in that couple of minutes talking about the track and the fast and the power and everything. And it's only it's a track that's basically you're just about sideways from corner to corner, just about. Mate, we're going to be there come 2024. Books. It's a cool
we'll be there,
place.
mate. We will be there with bells on to support these modified drivers. I tell you what, another thing, the drivers of the super stocks and the drivers of the modifieds were all fantastic to talk to in the middle, weren't they? And they gave us the time, and they come and talk to us so they could talk to you guys, the fans. And I take my hat off to you guys, just taking it, because you park your car up on the infield and you want to whatever you're going to do afterwards, but you stop and take the time to talk to us, and we really, really appreciate that. And I know the people that watch appreciate it too, all the fans. So just a thanks to all the drivers taking the time. Because it was something different. No one really has done a build-up for the drivers at a scrutineering, so it was nice to do it and nice to have the support.
Yeah, no, thanks to you guys as well. It was, it's like you say, it's something different and it's pretty unique. And I think your guys' style of interviewing and media work is a bit unique, which is cool. I mean, the modified class is kind of stereotyped as kind of the old man class, and it's heaps of the old boys and stuff. But the last 3, 4, 5 years with the likes of Garrett 16 and yourselves have really kind of not put a spotlight on the class, but kind of I guess modernized it a little bit. And there's a few young boys coming through, and it's not just the old geezers going out there and standing on the gas. There's some young talent coming through, and I think it's overall been good for the class, but the sport too.
Mate, 100%. I agree with you 100% on that, because not only did we just talk to the drivers, we spoke to some of the drivers' kids who were sitting there. We know about mini stocks and the age group there. And this young kid that I interviewed, because he was shy, when Booker says there's kids there, I'll talk to those kids, and it's all about them because they're our future. And then he was talking to me about like quarter midgets, I think, and this younger brother who was like an 8-year-old that races. Yeah. And then this other kid that drives as well, like blew me away. And then we spoke to Alan Haig, I think it was, and his daughter. Going to be racing. And that's the kind of stuff we do. We talk to you drivers, but we'll catch up with any of the kids, because they are the ones that's going to follow, obviously, the footsteps of their mums or their dads in motorsport. So it's bloody cool. It's really cool what we do. We have fun, and the kids have fun. They even teach us a few bloody things, which is awesome. Chris Bailey, congrats, Brad, Jonas, and Luke. Well done. Who else have we got here?
Josh Webb's got there. Do you guys see young former 3NZ Jacob Mitchell being NZ title holder in the future? I think I do. What about you guys? He's a bit of a talent.
If he stayed in the class, I think so. But he's doing his own thing. So, but yeah, super talented, and I think those guys that come from circuit or have a bit of a go-karting background can do that kind of stuff. And to be fair, that the cards he got dealt on Saturday, he's never been there before, and everyone's saying it's a track you can't run up high. That race one that he went out was super slick, and everyone thought it would be drivey. And okay, he spun out the first corner, but went to the back, come back through to the front, or second, I think it was.
Yeah.
So, that just goes to show that's just talent. It doesn't matter if you've got new tires or good engine, like to do that and come back to the front. You've only just seen the place. That that's talent right there.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll just interrupt quickly. Brad, there's something at the back of your motel. Go grab it for me.
Sweet as, I'll be back.
Thanks, man.
But no, you're right, Luke, saying there about the young Jacob, because we caught up with the young kid. He became 3NZ at the age of 18. He is now only 20. He's a talented kid, but you are right, whether you can keep him in the modified class. I know there's a lot of talks about him moving up to another class because he is a talent, but we'll have to wait and see. And I think if he does decide to stay in the modifieds, guarantee you he'll be back on a single digit on the podium. But I know there's another class in Speedway that's chasing the young man, and he is very talented. Luke, would you ever do a sim event and feed Brad the right rear? If you ever jumped on a simulator, jumped in with us and give him the bloody
you
right
must
rear.
And because that's Chris too saying feed him the right rear, that's not a dig. I think that's just how Chris does his own sim racing. So he's all about rolling people and feeding them the right rear. Have you ever done sim racing, Luke?
No, man, I've done no form of gaming. Or the oldest thing I did was jam PS2, like what's the game, Word of Outlaw Sprint Cars. I used to jam that back when I was at school, but yeah, just the way it's gone with racing and stuff, I've just never really had the time. And if I did, I'd be shocking, man. I'm better off just watching, honestly, save you guys and everyone else the drama.
Well, if you ever decide to get a rig, we're doing another E-Series for Modifieds again next season. Yeah. Brad Lane loved it, and he told us that dirt that made the mod is so close to the real thing, it's not funny. So
you'd be right. Brad will show you a setup, mate. We'll get you going. He's got the meanest setups. And actually, young Jacob Mitchell, he's done sim, and he was quite keen to as well to come back and maybe dust off the cobwebs from a jump on the sim with us. So yeah, it could happen. Shane and Karen Taylor, this is so cool having the families involved. It is. Shane, time for you to shave, Brad. Sort yourself out. You have to look look professional and respectable now, bro.
That'll never happen.
Monday to Fridays work, mate. Saturday and the weekend, that's when you got to look good.
We spoke to Newton Gorge, and everyone spoke about Murray and stuff. And I remember Jacko saying Murray could just about jump in a car and make sure to go bloody good. Maru's got a comment here. Murray Gorge come out of retirement 24. Willie Noonan 10S. There's another great name.
He was there on Saturday.
I tell you
Willie
what.
Noonan, was he?
Oh, was he?
Yeah. No, he came down a little bit young. His boys racing in mini sprint and stuff. It was pretty cool to see him.
Yeah.
It's So we heard before about Gareth 16 stepping back a bit. I mean, they're both supporters of both of you guys on the car. How good has it been having Gareth 16 pump up that modified class and I mean, it's going to be a huge dent in Speedway with those guys stepping back, and we understand why, and we know why, because you got to look after yourself as well, first and foremost, when it comes to anything you do with family and yourself. But what are your guys' thoughts on that? I mean, how good have they been? How good has Aaron and Vince and Gareth 16 been for the sport of modifieds and Speedway in general?
Here we go, Luke.
I can't believe he doesn't have sauce on his hot dog, first of all. Far out.
He's
But,
sitting there, you got his attention now. He's sitting in the background.
yeah. I thought that was a joke, but man.
Seriously.
No, it's cool, and to kind of like I was saying before, like to kind of modernize the class and get it to kind of where it should be. And that New Zealand title in Woodford Glen, that was the highest number count in a long time. And I guess the reintroduction of drivers and the entry of some young fellas coming through, people are seeing the visual stuff, the media. It's not just the old boys with businesses, just with the mod and, doing their own thing. It's kind of getting a bit more around the country, and people are talking about the class and different forums and stuff. So it's been awesome to have them kind of do their bit for not just, I guess, the modifieds, but the sport in general. And then, for Aaron to kind of dive in and straight in the deep end by a car, I mean, that was pretty cool for us as well. And I think the thing that's most kind of, outstanding is like they're not Speedway people. Like, they obviously got introduced through Jonas, and it's not like they've been to. Well, I mean, Aaron did go to Speedway, but it's not like they've born and bred Speedway for 20 years, and they're tied up with teams and crews and drivers. They kind of just came in full, 100%, and they just look what they've done in a few years. It's pretty wicked.
Brad?
Yeah, no, it's just from when they sort of first come around to what they've got now and what they've done for us and all the rest of it. I feel like Luke said, they've done not just us, the modified class, but everybody. It's just so damn impressive. The time and effort that they've all put in, it's just it's no easy feat. What they do. It's real cool. And then obviously having the top three of the weekend, putting some coin in to help out, help us all out is bloody cool. And I can't thank Aaron and Vince and the Lewis family enough. All the time and effort they've put in, and obviously Vince and Aaron and being away from their partners and stuff is as well as racing, let alone doing the media stuff. I'd hate to think how much time they spend away from home. We're only going racing; they're doing all the rest of it too behind the scenes. So, really can't thank them enough, and they've been such a help to the class and the sport through what they've done. And obviously the last two number counts, like Luke said, for the New Zealand titles have more than likely been, part of their doing realistically. 30 odd cars this year and last year as well is pretty damn impressive for modifieds. They haven't been like that in a long time.
Okay, all right. On that note, I suppose he's sitting there listening to all of this. The G16 Goat, as his name is on our stream tonight, Aaron Lewis. We better bring in Mr. 16W, Books?
Bring him in here. There he is.
Aaron, you heard all that,
fellas.
mate. Hey, mate,
it's pretty humbling, it's you look, we put a hell of a lot of effort in. We made a huge amount of good friends, and like I said, we're still going to be turning up to the track and enjoying the sport. But yeah, yeah, it's good to talk about the road we've been on because that helps you get to where you're going. And look, the quality of the fields that I seen at the New Zealand Champs, and just the way all the cars looked, how professional they looked, how all the drivers acted, the way that the class conducted itself. She's this class is back. It's ready to go, and it's got some bloody good life in it yet. And I can't wait to see what happens in the next phase.
Awesome, mate. I've got a quick comment here. Sam Johnston's put, what's the dirt going to stick to without the sauce on your hot dog?
Generally, the whole story of me not having sauce on my hot dog, thank you very much, is because I had this. Look, I'm a dad, so, all I've got is dad jokes. I live for them, and I get on the pits media, and every once in a while something serious is happening, and there's nothing better than me just going to buy an unsauced hot dog, go to do my interview, and that's my mic instead. It's one of my favourite things to do, and it cracks everyone in the bloody pits van up and stuff. So that's where the old sauceless hot dog rumour came in, eh?
All right. Well, thanks for that.
Well,
Hey, Peter,
here's a dad joke for you then. Why aren't noses 12 inches long?
Why?
Otherwise, they'd be a foot. They'd be a foot.
Don't worry, Luke, mate. You'll catch up, mate. The little nipper
I got a
will
few
be-
months.
you'll be
I got a
ready.
few months somewhere.
what'd you say, Luke?
I got a few months before I can start cracking those. So
Are you expecting?
Oh,
July.
mate, it takes years to get his
wow,
legs
awesome.
across.
That's
Awesome, mate.
awesome.
Congrats,
Yeah.
mate.
Another
guys.
up and coming
Congrats,
modified driver.
Crew.
Yeah, that's the one. Longer we can stay in the seat.
Yeah.
But no, look, the weekend at the New Zealand Champs was absolutely massive. It was an honour to be there and race with these guys as well. It was the whole Friday thing, then moving into Saturday. It was all action. It's full on the whole way through. From watching these guys on the track, generally as they burn around me, like I'm probably second and a half or so off the pace of these guys, sometimes a little bit more, but it was really cool to be out there. They're incredibly difficult machines to hold onto the track, and that whole theory of going faster makes you faster. It's just something that takes probably a little bit more than this 46-year-old brain can get his head around too quickly. But I'm proud of what my team achieved, and my dad. We worked in the garage all bloody winter together. We had a great time. We've got some great footage, and we will share that eventually to close out that story of in the driver's seat. But man, the action, enough about me. Just watching these guys go at it was just crazy. I spent the 30 lapper up on the hill. I actually watched it with Jonas's crew because Jonas, everyone knows the story. Jonas brought us into the sport. And just to be standing up there with those guys and yeah, seeing him. Yeah, I haven't seen a wahoo out of that dude in the whole 5-6 years I've known him until we got back into the scrutineering shed, and he was just going nuts in his cabin, and it was the coolest freaking thing I've seen in ages, man. It was wicked.
Yeah, 100%.
So proud of
mate.
him, man.
Yeah,
so proud
yeah.
of him. Bloody wicked. Awesome.
Yeah. Well, there's a few people here saying a few things. Krusty, old Jeff, both you boys were a class act on the field. It was outstanding. A long night, but it was outstanding. Peter Rose, awesome racing by all. Carl Carpenter, Brad should jump in the TQ, have a bit of a skid there as well. Scott Honeybone, congrats, Brad. Awesome effort. Enlightening Luke. Brad's heading down to the invasion. Scott, he's going to go down there. Luke won't be going down there, but I do know both will be in, but Jonas will be racing at the Modifieds in Rotorua, so there's quite a big meeting there as well. Plenty coming up. Garrett 16 from Lacey. What's the dude? Yeah, got the done that one.
Lacey, that was my daughter's school teacher last year.
Right.
She's big. She watches our show all the time. She seems to turn off though. She said when she sees you on there though, she said she just to.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. That happens. It really does. But
hey, listen, I see Colin Pinfold's put up a post.
Yeah, I saw that.
I spoke about something earlier, Colin, about incidents that happened after that. So we're not really going to talk about that. And I can
Good.
tell you that Brad said he would have made the same move. So there you go. Brad would have done the same thing, and we talked about it. So that's where we'll leave it. Brad believes he would have made the same move as Luke. So that's his view. So there you go.
He's
Cool.
on from Maru. What do you call a Mexican with a rubber toe?
Oh, yes.
Roberto.
We can't have a show with dad jokes on it. What's going on here? Hey? If you come back on the show next year, Luke, and start telling me dad jokes.
Hey, why the chicken cross the road?
Oh, God.
To see the idiot.
Oh, Mark
knock.
Eagles got here. Reckons you
Who's
need to
there?
keep your jokes to the comedians,
Yeah.
Brad.
Who's here?
Say
Idiot.
start again, Brad. Go, go again, Brad.
Knock. Why the chicken cross the road?
Yeah, to see the idiot.
To see the idiot. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
The idiot.
Okay. Okay, that's enough of that. You've had too much to drink, Lane.
Absolutely awesome. Well, look, I will. It's been an absolute blast. Thanks to the guys. We'll be looking forward to keeping up with progress and stuff. But we got one more event down there at the Invasion next week. She's going to be a humdinger, and I reckon, Brad, we are going to need to challenge the 6 a.m. thing at the club rooms on that one, and see if we can push a little bit harder and give us a good goodbye. So thanks very much for having me on, guys, and congratulations on to you, Brad, and Jonas, who's not there, and Luke for you getting the 1, 2, 3 and sending Garrett 16 out in style. It's freaking awesome.
All right, Aaron, mate. Cheers, mate. Take care. We'll
Thank
catch
you.
up soon, eh? Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, that's just about a wrap anyway, I think, Kins. We've held these
it's
boys
about
up
us.
long enough, so we could probably say
Hey, I
thanks
just,
for
say-
coming on the show, taking the time to talk to us. You guys raced unbelievable. Awesome. I loved every single minute of it. So thanks for the entertainment and entertaining us as spectators, and congrats on your numbers that you all got. I think it's awesome, and I look forward to seeing you on the track against each other again, racing hard and fast. I hope nothing changes.
No, it's good. I mean, end of the day, arguably probably two of the best. I mean, not that you want to pat your own back, but you'd be lying if we said we're not probably two of one of the best currently in the class. And that's what makes racing. No one wants to see someone 4 laps ahead and battling for second, and it can be touchy subjects in that, but that's what we're there to do. We're there to race, and all our families and crew and everything, we all put a lot of time and energy in. So end of the day, that's what we're there for. And I don't think anyone would do anything different. It's we're all there to race hard and have a good time. And sometimes things work, sometimes they don't. And we'll be back next week and go again.
Awesome.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I wish you both all the best too in Roaders. I know it's a big weekend. I might actually rock along on Saturday, come along and check it all out and have a bit of fun and have a hot dog with sauce on it, Aaron. So it'll be awesome.
Yeah, mate, I'll join you with the sauce. Touch
Any-
the sauce, eh?
Any final
hot
words
dog.
from Brad before we go too on anything, mate?
Oh yeah. Just like Luke said, it was if we don't put on a show, people don't turn up, man, and then these clubs just end up with nothing. So racing side by side and fighting for the lead is impressive, and wouldn't have it any other way really. There's
Okay.
as much as you like to sit out front and win it and be all good, it ain't that enjoyable.
Actually,
but
carry on, bro.
I'll just say big ups to the club, man, to Huntley. When the Friday got rained out and Red had us on club rooms, you could just see the disappointment in him. For another one to be rained out, he was pretty damn down. So for us to get that whole entire meeting through same format and on the Saturday, big ups to them, and probably one of the best tracks I've run on there at Huntley. Being able to run at the top and down the bottom and change your line around and try and really try and find the fastest part on the track was pretty damn cool, rather than just sitting around the bottom and following each other. So big ups to Red and his team and Fiona and all them, at the track. It's just, it was a good weekend. I enjoyed it.
How's your sister, mate? You know, after qualifying for that chance, how was she on the Sunday and Monday?
I assume she was pretty wrapped. I didn't see her. But yeah, I was talking to her and stuff. You know, big ups to her and stuff. To qualify for a New Zealand title with that many cars is pretty impressive. Obviously, she had to do it through repecharge, but she drove very well in that repecharge. So you know, she can drive, and we've told her that she really can drive. She just
Awesome, mate.
starting to listen and get the grips of the car and stuff. And I put a new tyre on for that feature for her. She might have only done 8 laps, but that tyre's pretty damn toast.
All right, you three gentlemen,
All right.
we do say thank
Cool.
you very much for joining us. Oh, and you're right, Aaron. Cheers,
Yeah,
mate.
good
Cheers,
as gold,
Brad.
mate. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Luke. Cheers, guys.
Cheers,
Thanks,
guys.
guys.
Cheers, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, wicked, awesome. Thank you very
Awesome.
much,
Cheers.
guys. Much appreciated.
Cheers.
Thank you. So there we go, books. Aaron Lewis, Garage 16 New Zealand Dirt Track Magazine, the sponsor for the big event last weekend. Like other events he's been associated with, himself and Vince. Good to get the update on that. There's that awesome bloody picture Murray done for us as well. Murray, awesome, bro. I just seen his son been playing around with some artwork on Brad's car as well. Also having Brad and, of course, Luke on there, 3 and 1 NZ from the weekend was just bloody awesome. Wish them both all the best in Roaders this coming weekend. There's a fair bit of speedway coming up. March 25, I do know Brad heading down to the Invasion in Christchurch. March 25, it is welcome back from Miani Speedway. Finally, after what they've been going through, that's going to be their first event in a couple of weeks. So looking forward to that. There is a lot of speedway up and down the countryside. I do know next Saturday there's the North Island TQ Midget Championships taking place. We may catch up next week with a couple of guests there. There's also the North Island Superstocks taking place at Stratford. You got the Miani reopening, Western Springs. Well, that's not happening now this season. That's gone. So there's a lot going on still for the Speedway season ahead. A lot of big events. But, you know, I just want to end saying thank you to my mate here, Booker, not only for what he's going to do with their drawing, but also traveling all the way up from Napier to spend a week up here for us as Kokpit to host and be part of the infield build-up to the New Zealand Superstock Champs, thanks to Polo Cranes, but also to the New Zealand Modified Champs, thanks to Garage 16. It's just good to have you up here, mate. I know that a bit of a drive for you. It's taken its toll on you, but, you know, your loved ones are back home there. You catch up with your dog, would have been wiggling away.
Oh, my dog
there
went nuts, mate. It was the happiest person to see me was my dog.
Yeah, but also just the elderly driver that I met. I didn't get your number, but hopefully some lady out there's found your number. You can catch up here from down at Christchurch.
From the South Island, I think he was the modified driver. Yeah. Okay, well, on that note,
mate.
Thanks for tuning in.
Superstock
Thanks to our
Stampede.
guests. Thanks for tuning in for the weekend stuff as well. And we'll catch you all again very, very soon.
Yeah, take care, everyone. Welcome along, everyone. What was it like, that experience, jumping into your first race?
It's been my life ever since I can remember.
Look, it really was unbelievable.
I think it's awesome.
It's just to go out there and give it your every time. And
When you're young and you get in your old man super stock and you wreck it, I mean, it's pretty cool.
Craig Booker with the big smile. He is the voice that's behind what you get to hear every Sunday night.
Give it the hoot, Nanny. Look at that field. Doesn't it look fantastic?